Hello, my name is Natalie Pierce, and 2 days before Thanksgiving, my sister sent a message that cut deeper than she'll ever admit. She disinvited me from the family dinner. After years of being pushed aside, it felt like the final strike. I sat in my small condo staring at that cold text, wondering how a daughter could be erased so easily. But tucked in my desk was a brass key, a reminder that while they shut me out, I still had a place of my own. Thanksgiving isn't just a dinner, it's the one night a year that decides who counts and who doesn't. The words arrive before I am fully awake, a vibration on the nightstand that pulls me from the half-dreaming state between rest and routine. The mug of coffee is already in my hand when I swipe the screen. 14 words. A group text. This year, just Cassie's family. I read it twice, my thumb hovering my chest tight in that familiar way when something shifts under your feet. For a second, the steam rising from the mug blurs the letters, but when it clears, the words are still there. Sharp, clinical, final. The condo is silent except for the radiator ticking. I stare around at the ordered space boots lined beneath the window books, arranged alphabetically, bed corners squared as if an inspection is imminent. Discipline has always been my shield. But no arrangement can make sense of being told you don't belong. I hear my grandfather's voice as if carried through the pipes. One day, Natalie, you'll need your own table. Don't let them tell you otherwise. He said it when I was 13, watching me hover at the edge of a gathering where my sister sat in the spotlight, my parents beaming. I never understood why he leaned close that night. Voice lowered, eyes kind. Now the meaning tastes bitter and necessary. The screen lights again with family chatter, Cassie sharing her centerpiece photos, my mother dropping heart emojis, my father liking everything she posts. My name doesn't appear. I clear my throat, press call. The ring is steady, almost mocking. Then her voice clipped, composed, familiar in its distance. Mom, is this a mistake? My own voice sounds like I'm negotiating, not asking. Silence, then a sigh. Don't make this harder than it is, Natalie. Harder than what? Harder than erasing me from a holiday I've never missed, even through deployments. Harder than pretending Cassie is the sun and I'm the shadow. I want to argue, to demand an explanation. Instead, I stare at the ceiling crack where plaster has shifted the line, running like a scar above me. A flashback slices through 15 years old, waiting outside the gym in my pressed uniform, the last one out after band practice. The parking lot was nearly empty except for my family's car idling across the street. I started toward it only to watch it pull away. Cassie's ballet recital couldn't wait. They hadn't seen me waving, or maybe they had. The chill of that night lives in my bones, still as sharp as November air. My phone buzzes again. This time the message is worse than the first. Please respect Cassie's wishes. There it is, the confirmation blow. Not oversight, not accident. A decision, a declaration. My jaw tightens. I walk to the desk by the window, set the phone down. The morning light cuts across the surface, catching on something brass and old. The key. Heavy, ornate, cool under my fingertips. Forest estate. Grandfather's gift tucked away for years. A symbol of permanence, of something that couldn't be voted away. I trace the grooves, remembering his words. Family shouldn't need a permission slip. He'd said that once after Cassie staged another performance of her brilliance, while I stood with scraped knees from a soccer game no one came to watch. He pressed the key into my hand, then a gesture I thought was sentimental. Now it feels like strategy. I whisper into the stillness, almost to myself, almost to him. Maybe this year I don't wait for their permission. If they shut their door on me, I'll open mine and make it bigger. By the time I leave Boston, the sky has shifted into the pale gold of late November. Traffic thins as I drive north, cityscape giving way to stretches of pine and winding roads. The brass key rests in the cup holder, weighty, a reminder that I am not chasing a dream, but steering toward something real. The forest estate rises out of the trees, more remembered than seen for years. The porch curls around like an embrace railings catching the light. I sit in the car engine ticking, staring at the silhouette that once defined my grandfather's pride. When I step out, the air smells of pine and damp earth, sharp and honest. Gravel crunches under my boots as if acknowledging me, claiming me back. The key slides into the lock with resistance. My hand trembles not from doubt but from anticipation. The creak of the door is not just wood and metal, but memory itself, breaths released into the hall. Dust floats in the light as I step inside. The dining room pulls me first. The oak table still dominates, solemn but dulled by neglect. I lay my palm on it, feeling grooves left by decades of meals and silences. My imagination fills the seats. Voices, laughter, warmth that once excluded me, but here feels possible. Cassie's fragile perfection pales beside this permanence. I pull my notebook from my bag and write across a clean page. Operation Forest Estate. Thanksgiving. Below it, food seating allies. The list feels like a mission brief. The Army taught me every operation has phases, and even a dinner can be a battlefield if you've been told you don't deserve a chair. The quiet presses in until it's unbearable. I scroll to Aunt Joanne's number. She sent birthday cards when my parents forgot. She whispered encouragement when Cassie mocked me. The line clicks, her voice rough but sharp. Aunt Joanne, it's Natalie. I was disinvited. From Thanksgiving. By Cassie with Mom and Dad behind her. Her silence isn't empty, it hums. Then she exhales. They did it to me too, Nat. Years ago. Charles and Margaret stripped my share so Cassie and your mother could shine. I swallowed it, but it never left me. Her words are a match on dry kindling. Betrayal isn't new, it's inherited. My fists clench not at her, but at the realization the pattern stretches further back than my own wound. Her tone sharpens. They erased me once too. Count me in. The weight in my chest eases. I am not alone. I walk back to the oak table notebook, open pen steady, and write her name at the top of the Allies column. You're not alone in this, Nat Joanne repeats. If they don't want you, they don't want me either. The words settle like armor across my shoulders. I close the notebook with a snap, set it down on the oak table, my handwriting bold, Operation Forest Estate. Phase 1, assemble. My breath fogs the air and I whisper into the quiet house, a vow more than a thought. This is no longer about a seat. It's about the whole table. A family isn't the people who silence you. It's the ones who answer when you call. The light in the Forest Estate living room is angled sharp through the bare trees, catching dust motes that float above the desk I've claimed as my command post. Pages of stationery are scattered, their edges weighted down by pens, envelopes, and the small brass oak leaf stamp I unearthed from an old drawer last night. Grandpa Henry once pressed that insignia into every letter he sent, a quiet brand of permanence. Today, it becomes mine. I dip the pen, the ink dark, and deliberate and begin writing names. Each stroke feels ceremonial. Not family by blood, but family by choice. I fold the first letter with care, press the stamp into red wax and seal it. The oak leaf glistens against the paper as though Henry himself leaned over my shoulder. Joanne sits nearby in an armchair, glasses perched low, thumbing through a worn notebook of her own. Don't forget Marlene Foster, she says, her voice dry but firm. Your parents always dismissed her because she spoke her mind. People like that are rare. Invite her. I nod, write Marlene's name with steady hands. Joanne adds more neighbors who once tried to help, but were brushed aside, colleagues who were kind, but unacknowledged. Her suggestions weave a different family tree, one built on choice, not obligation. The door creaks, and Danny Cruz steps inside, tall and quiet as ever. He doesn't waste words. He lays the folded invitation I had mailed days earlier on the oak table, presses his hand against it, and looks me in the eye. If you're standing, I'll stand with you. His voice is gravel, unwavering. I feel the room tighten with something strong loyalty not asked for, but given freely. Minutes later, my phone rings, Marlene's number flashing. I answer braced, but her laughter explodes down the line. Finally, a Thanksgiving without Cassie's perfume choking the air. Count me in, Nat. Count me in twice if it rattles them. Her humor cracks the solemnity, letting light flood through. The back door swings open with a gust of cold air. Noah Redding steps in, his arms full of firewood. He sets the stack by the hearth, dusts off his gloves, and nods toward me. Your grandfather would have smiled seeing this place alive again. You're doing right, Natalie. The words ground me, anchoring me to something larger than revenge legacy. While their voices blend around me, I slip a small digital recorder onto the desk, its red light blinking faintly. Not for them, but for the calls I know will come. Anticipation is as important as action. Cassie won't sit quietly while I build my table. I need proof, not just memories. The afternoon turns into a ritual of confirmation. One by one, names are spoken aloud, promises made. Danny's nod, Marlene's laughter, Noah's quiet strength, Joanne's sharp reminders, all stitched together into something resembling a roll call. A battalion of the overlooked, the erased, the forgotten. My notebook fills with check marks, and with each one the hollow space inside me shrinks. They thought silence would scatter us, I murmur, sealing another letter with the oak leaf. Instead, it stitched us closer. The room stills after the last envelope is sealed. Hope hums through the old house like electricity returning to dead wires. Then my phone vibrates sharply against the desk. The screen glows with Cassie's name, her words burning into me. Don't you dare embarrass this family. They built walls to keep me out. I built a table too wide for their walls to matter. By mid-afternoon on November 22nd, the estate hums like a mission in progress. Danny hammers shingles on the roof. Noah sets tables across the lawn. Marlene strings lanterns that sway like fireflies, and Aunt Joanne stirs cranberry sauce in a pot that perfumes the kitchen. I move between them with a pad in hand, giving orders the way I once did in uniform. The old house seems to breathe again, each floorboard alive beneath our feet. 2 more tables against the windows, I call. Copy, Noah answers, sliding one into place. Marlene plugs in the lights, grinning. We're officially cozier than Cassie's entire Pinterest board. Joanne hands me a spoon. The sauce is tart, sharp, honest. Better than the canned stuff your mother insists on. Funny how tradition always seems to serve whoever's in charge. The door bursts open with Lily and Amanda. Lily, cheeks flushed from the cold stares at the oak table stretching like a runway. Aunt Natalie. I want the middle seat, she declares, planting her hands firmly on the wood. It's yours, I tell her. Amanda squeezes my arm. A child's simple claim undoes years of exclusion. While Lily scribbles her name on a paper leaf, Joanne sits beside me. I was younger than your mother when my inheritance vanished. One signature, and I was told it was better for the family. My family meant everyone but me. I answer softly. Grandpa tried to make it right, leaving this to me. He chose the one who wouldn't need permission to breathe, she replies. From the porch, Marlene waves her phone. Breaking news. Cassie posts, perfect Thanksgiving, no drama this year. The caption drips with triumph. I open a message, type slowly. Let's see whose table shines brighter. My thumb hits send with the weight of a trigger pulled. I walk the dining room, adjusting chairs, palm brushing the oak grain. My mother's voice ghosts through memory. Don't be difficult, Natalie. I whisper back. This house doesn't need saving, Mom. It's saving me. The work continues. Noah sets a heater on the porch. Danny tests the gutters, Marlene arranges pine cones, then deliberately scatters 2. Perfect is sterile, she mutters. Joanne tucks rolls under cloth. Lily climbs onto her chosen chair and rehearses, announcing dessert. The house hums with voices absorbing every sound as though remembering how to hold a family. Just before dusk, headlights cut through the trees. A black sedan crunches over gravel. My chest tightens, then loosens when the door opens. Tom Rayner steps out, bottle of wine in hand. "Rayner," I say, smiling. "You said there was a seat," he answers. "I'm here to claim it." Behind me, laughter rises, Danny's greeting, Marlene's gasp, Joanne's low hum. Tom studies the glowing lanterns and the oak table waiting like a runway. "Looks like you built both a base and a sanctuary." "Only one of those needs a perimeter," I reply, taking the bottle. He steps inside as though he's always belonged. The sky deepens into that fleeting blue between day and night. Lanterns flare on the lake turns to ink, and the estate glows like a beacon. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I expect Cassie. Instead, it's my mother. Her voice slices through the line, brittle, commanding, "You're making a fool of yourself, Natalie. End this before you ruin us all." I glance at the recorder glowing faintly on the console and press record. Justice doesn't always thunder in courtrooms. Sometimes it arrives in the quiet moment when every chair is finally filled. Lanterns glow against the oak, the fire steady in the hearth. Platters pass from hand to hand, sleeves brush, laughter circles the table. Lily climbs on her chair at the center, paper leaf in her hand. I'm thankful because Aunt Natalie's table has no empty chairs. The room falls into applause, unforced shining. It fills me like breath after years underwater. We eat, trade stories, spill warmth into corners long empty. Joanne leans close with a grin. Danny pours water without asking. Noah squares a platter with practiced care. Tom scans the room, watchful, steady. Marlene blames onions for the tears in her eyes. For the first time, the estate exhales. Then the outer door crashes. Cassie enters, shoulders stiff, my father at her side. My mother a step behind, immaculate and cold. Gasps ripple. Lily sinks down, her fingers tightening around mine. Cassie's voice is sharp, rehearsed. "Look at this circus, Natalie. You've humiliated us." I don't argue. I set my phone on the oak press play. My mother's voice spills into the silence. "You're making a fool of yourself, Natalie. End this before you ruin us all." The words cut sharper than any protest. Faces turn toward them, unreadable. Cassie snaps, composure cracking. "Of course we cut her out, she's always been second-rate." It lands like a gavel. No denial, no disguise, just the truth, stripped bare. The fire seems to still. Forks pause in midair. I've waited years for proof. Now it arrives from their own mouths. I rise, not dramatic, just certain. I stopped asking for permission to exist. This estate is mine, this table is mine, and these people are my family by choice, not by fear. Applause rises like a tide. Cassie's protests drown under it. Tom's hand anchors my shoulder. Joanne laughs like she's free again. Danny claps until his palms sting. My father glances at my mother, but her script is gone. She smooths her cuff, powerless. The oak holds firm, weapon and sanctuary older than their claims, proof against their silence. I look to Lily. "Still want the middle seat?" She nods fiercely. "Always." I raise my glass. Family isn't who gives you a seat. It's who never takes it away. Glasses lift with mine. Laughter returns. A neighbor calls for more potatoes. Life resumes stronger than before. The intruders stand a beat too long, then retreat. No slammed doors, just footsteps fading and a cold draft swallowed by warmth. Shame leaves quietly. The house settles. My chest loosens. Lily hands me her folded paper star. "For the mantle," she whispers. Marlene slides pie across. Noah steadies the dish. Tom pours a ribbon of wine. Joanne tucks a curl behind my ear like I'm still 8. I sit at no throne but the anchor of a table too wide for walls. The key presses in my pocket. The estate hums with voices, laughter, the lake outside reflecting the night. I raise my glass again, meeting every eye that chose to stay. They thought erasing me was the end. Instead, it was the beginning. When you've walked through years of being silenced, standing firm at your own table is no small victory. I want to hear from you. Would you have done the same in my place or taken another path? Share your thoughts in the comments and stand with me in reclaiming dignity. Remember, family isn't always bound by blood, it's the people who never take your seat away. In your life, protect those bonds and build tables wide enough for everyone who truly belongs.